Hello, hope you're having a good week, whatever it is that you are up to. I've been thinking about the calming of the storm, the story that's in Mark chapter 4, if you want to read it. What struck me is that actually the storm is not the issue. The disciples were frightened in the middle of the storm, in fact so frightened that they went to wake Jesus up. Notice that Jesus was actually sleeping through the whole thing. But the disciples were terrified that they were actually going to drown. And then Jesus calmed the storm. He made the wind and the rain stop. But this didn't help. The disciples were still terrified. This time they were frightened of what had just happened, the authority that Jesus had just shown. So the disciples were terrified in the storm, and they were terrified in the calm afterwards. So it's not the storm that's the issue. The issue is, as Jesus bluntly points out in verse 40 of Mark chapter 4, is, do you still have no faith? Jesus is asking, don't you trust me? I wonder where our trust lies. Does it lie in a boat that's being thrown about in a storm? Does it lie in our bank accounts, our careers, our health, our relationships, our homes, our status? Or does our trust lie in Jesus? How much do we actually trust him to provide for us, to be there for us, to walk alongside us every step of the way? And how much do we try and sort out all this for ourselves? We say it fairly regularly, don't we? It kind of trips off the tongue that we trust him. But what does it actually look like in practice? What does it look like for us to trust Jesus with everything? I'm just going to leave us with that thought to think about over the week. What does it look like? What difference does it actually make for us to trust Jesus with everything? How does it affect how we use all that we've been given? Our time, our money, our homes. And how does it affect our attitude to these things and to everything? We've been dealing with some grief as a family recently, as Rob's dad died unexpectedly at the end of January. So it's not been easy. But our experience is that God has been faithful and trustworthy through it all. When there's not much left to stand on, when everything around has gone a little bit wobbly, Jesus is still there. The calming of the storm is a perfect illustration of that. And I love this too from Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. We are not consumed by anything. The storm isn't necessarily going away, but Jesus is with us in it. So may this make a difference to all that we do and all that we are this week. May you have a trust-filled week, and see you soon.